Hello gorgeous peeps, I'm back again for the Tech Spurt Weeklies after a 2-week holiday, my summer 2020 holiday incidentally, which I finally managed to actually bloody go on. And it was pretty bloody great as well, well worth the wait, that's for sure. You had a free bar from 10 AM right through and also occasional bouts of sunshine, so yeah. The only reason I actually came back again was because of certain, shall we say, allegations and some proper full-on threats of, shall we say, serious jail time. But yeah, who'd have thought it? Apparently 14 hours of down and bright blue miscellaneous cocktails can do some pretty weird things to your brain, to the point where even a clearly perfectly well-balanced and sane individual might suddenly decide it's a fantastic idea to storm the local crazy golf course, rip off all of their clothes, smash the wooden windmill to bits and then replace it with their own naked quiver and foam. Can I just say though that keeping up that constant windmilling action with the fleshier parts of your anatomy, even for extended periods, is surprisingly easy after a shag load of those sugar-rich neon-coloured drinks. I could have literally gone for hours if the local constabulary hadn't turned up and dragged me off by that very same appendage. Anyway, none of this has got bugger all to do with tech anyway, which sets the tone for the rest of the show quite nicely, so roll credits I guess. Tech Spurt Weekly! You might have noticed that I'm on the old coffee this week rather than the booze. I'm just allowing myself a couple of days off the hard stuff just to let my liver regenerate a bit. That's what livers do, right? I've even treated myself to a bit of toffee crisp action. The smallest toffee crisp in the known f***ing universe. I mean, what is this? A new fun size specifically designed to smuggle comfortably into prisons? And anyway, obviously having skived off for the best part of a fortnight, I've clearly missed quite a lot of tech shenanigans that have gone on, but I'm too hungover and lazy to really cover it in a professional manner as expected. So here's a super brief recap, or a spurt of news, if you will. So Apple went and launched some more big expensive rectangles. You got a new iPad and an iPad Pro, which slightly update the specs of those older models. Gotta say, I'm so excited, the entire left side of my body has gone completely numb. Oh no, wait, no, I'm just having another stroke. Oh f***. Also, the new Meta Quest Pro VR headset finally launched last week, but with an asking price of $1,500. This is definitely one for business types with a corporate expenses account. Upgrades include beefier performance, eye tracking, and refined controllers with built-in tracking sensors. While the Meta Quest Pro boasts a slimmer, more attractive design, so you look less like a gormless toss piece when you've got one strapped to your face. Now this VR headset is designed primarily for people with proper jobs to collaborate together remotely, rather than for buggering about punching cartoon aliens in the cock or whatever. That's not to say you can't still do that on the Meta Quest Pro VR, it's just that this headset is so expensive that every extraterrestrial dick punch will cost you about 50 quid. Honestly, I could probably fit about 15 of these things up there. Fans of bendy things rejoiced this week as Motorola stopped dicking about and finally launched its new Razr 2022 phone outside of China. And I'm happier than a dog with its nose lodged firmly up another dog's colon, because this latest model fixes most of the shit bits of previous versions, all while undercutting Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip 4 by a whole 50 quid. Cheeky buggers, I salute you. And my full unboxing's live right now and it's not too shit, so go check that out if you can be bothered. This week also saw the official launch of the Nothing Ear Stick, which is a pair of new true wireless earbuds costing just 99 quid here in Blighty. They're 50 pun cheaper than the original Ear One buds from last year, but they're still packing bigger drivers and a more comfortable open design for anyone that doesn't like having things stuffed inside of their head orifices. But hey, if you want to know more, or you just want to see a grown man really struggle to open a tiny cardboard box, then go have a gander at my review, which just went live. And on top of all of that fun and games, Nothing also announced it'll be opening its first physical store in bonny old Soho before the end of 2022, and hopefully they'll have a big old press party to celebrate, preferably with unlimited free booze, in which case I'll probably toddle along for a bit, although only if they don't have those bright blue drinks, because terms of my parole say I can't go within 50 feet of one of those buggers. And this week also saw the launch of Xiaomi's Redmi Note 12 series of smartphones over in China, ahead of their inevitable global unveiling in early 2023. And these budget-friendly blows serve up a tantalising set of specs for a very low asking price as usual. Great news if you just spent your last 20 down the local boozer on a pint of bitter and a pack of pork scratchings. The Redmi Note 12 Pro serves up a 6.67-inch AMOLED screen with Full HD Plus resolution and 120Hz refresh, plus 10-bit color, HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision support. It's powered by Mediatek's freshly launched Dimensity 1080 chipset, a slight upgrade on the capable 920 from the previous gen, and that should do the job absolutely fine for a sly bit of gaming. And you also get stereo speakers, you get a ready headphone jack, hip hip hooray, and you also got a 5000 mAh battery with 67 watt fast charge support. Upgrade to the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus, and that charging tech is ramped right up to 120 watts. And while the regular Pro serves up Sony's popular 50meg IMX766 camera sensor with optical image stabilization, the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus says F that noise and slaps on a 200 megapixel Samsung HPX shooter, which was only unveiled a week ago, also with OIS. So that matches the insane megapixel count on Motorola's Edge 30 Ultra and Xiaomi's very own 12T Pro, both of which I recently featured here on TechSpurt, and both of which cost a pretty penny more than these bloody Redmis, let me tell you. And last up, there's the Redmi Note 12 Explorer Edition, which shrinks the battery to just 4300 mAh, but makes up for that with crazy fast 210 watt charging, which should power up the phone in less time than it takes for James Corden to annoy the living piss out of me. Or actually, apparently it takes around 9 minutes rather than 9 seconds, so scratch that last comment from the record. And also, according to this article, which I'm just lazily reading off the internet at you, hot content kiddies, the Redmi Note 12 Explorer also features the same 200meg HPX camera sensor as the Pro Plus, so overall you've got some very tasty specs for what hopefully will be a lovely affordable asking price when these buggers finally make their way to Blighty. So there you go, that was 2 weeks of Spurt action unloaded at your face in roughly about 3 minutes. Pretty good effort overall. Still working on the toffee crisp, really making that last. And now it's time for the part of the show that might possibly have you windmilling in absolute sheer delight. It's the return of viewer comments. Viewer comments. Oh, that coffee is definitely working a charm. I'm feeling up for this now. Let's do it. So let's start with Jed Bullet this week, who says, Uncle Spurt, if you're on holiday, then may I suggest you post the odd snaps of your fancy cocktails and beers now and again to keep us all going like. I can assure you, Jed, mate, there was absolutely nothing fancy whatsoever about the stuff that I was pouring into myself. The best cocktail I had was one called a BMW, presumably called that because drinking it makes you feel like you've been f***ing run over by one. I've pulled up the recipe from my Google Photos. It was apparently made from Irish cream, coconut liquor, I'm presuming they mean liqueur, whiskey, and a double espresso. Which is a bloody fantastic combination, absolutely inspired, because it simultaneously gets you absolutely hammered and also makes it feel like somebody's jammed a lightning rod right up your arse. It'd be a perfect drink if you're about to hit up like a happy hardcore rave club or something like that. Slightly less ideal if you're just drinking it in a hotel lobby with Neil Diamond playing in the background. But yes, fun times all around. Next up, The Lonely Loner, I'll try and speak properly, says this is the best tech show, very informative and objective, amazing and professional reviews. I gotta say, my sarcasm detector is having absolute fits right now. But you know what, I'm gonna pretend he's being absolutely 100% genuine on that one, so cheers, The Lonely Loner. Why can't I say that properly, Jesus Christ. Next up, Donald says, apologies in advance for a vague tech question, but do you know if the update program announced by Xiaomi with the 12T will also apply to the regular Xiaomi 12? Yes, good news, Donald. Apparently it's the entire 12 series, so the 12, the 12 Pro, 12T, all that shenanigans will all get the years of security and OS updates. Hip hip hurrah! Next up, Rebecca Reimer says, thanks for still making vids of mobile phones and other gadgets instead of documenting some simpy stuff that seems to be very popular among other tech YouTubers. If I want to hear about cars, I will shuffle through the old Top Gear VHS tapes and have wet dreams about Jeremy Clarkson's butt crack. Wet dreams, presumably because you just wake up in a puddle of terror sweat. Yeah, I mean, frankly, I don't really have the time to cover cars on this channel because there's a new mobile phone launching literally every 5 frickin' minutes. And also, the amount of knowledge I have on cars could fit on the back of a very small matchbook. I think I mentioned all this on a previous episode of TechSpurt Weekly. And then on top of all that, also, my blood alcohol level is comparable to George Best's at least 6 days out of the week. So if I was reviewing a car, I'd probably get as far as the end of the street before smashing straight through some poor f***er's living room. So yeah, don't expect car spurt anytime soon. No, much more likely is probably booze spurt. Othniel says, through you, I got convinced to get the Nothing phone, and I did. Now you're making me want the Pixel 7. I mean, to be fair, if I were you, I'd just stick with the Nothing phone because, yeah, the Pixel 7 series, you know, you've got those great exclusive Pixel features and the camera is definitely an upgrade as well. But the Nothing phone is a match in most other areas. And you know what? With the Pixel 7s, can you set up an impromptu disco wherever you roam using the flashing back end? No, you can't because it doesn't bloody have one, so Nothing phone wins on that one. Rando Tech Info says, the stop action style intro is the best thing I've seen today. Granted, I woke up 10 minutes ago, but it's still pretty good. I can't even remember what that refers to now, as it was, you know, a good couple of weeks ago, but thanks anyway. Carlos says, what's up, my brother? Just ordered the Pixel 7 Pro 512 gigs in black. Nice. A big hug to you from New York. Oh, big hugs right back at you, buddy. Man, I really miss New York. There used to be loads of tech launches over there, you know, just a few years back, obviously pre-COVID and everything. But yeah, haven't been there in a good long while. Need to get back sometime. I do miss just spending an entire afternoon in a dodgy New York dive basement bar, getting charged $10 for not even a full pint of some pissy, horrible, gassy lager, but still getting smashed after about 4 of them, probably because the glasses hadn't been cleaned properly and had all kinds of crazy shit living in them. Ah, good times. Next up, Paul Hatton says, Tech Spurt and Grumpy Skeletor, the collaboration we all want to see. I don't know what that is. Grumpy Skeletor? It's a Twittery thing. Oh no, I love this. I've only scrolled down to like literally the second tweet and already there's one ripping the piss out of James Corden. So Grumpy Skeletor, whoever you are, frickin' love you, dude. Next up, Stephen Amos says, have you ever thought of changing the name of the show to Tech Hunt Weekly? Was there a typo in that second word by any chance? I know, as Stephen himself points out in the next sentence, if I just bothered to read it, he says, can't say Tech Hunt too quickly or it will sound very rude indeed. Well, I am of course best known as a mild-mannered tech content creator, so I certainly wouldn't be doing that. John Naylor says, just check the time on my Garmin Venue 2 that I charged last week. How can they only do 1 day battery life on smartwatches? Yeah, have to agree, it's total bullshit. Having to charge up a smartwatch every single day as well as a smartphone and stuff, especially when they do night tracking, so then you can't even charge them up overnight. It's stupid. What they need to do is add some sort of kinetic charging feature to these smartwatches. So, you know, just 4 minutes on Pornhub in the morning and you're back up to full. It could even make for a great slogan as well. Fill your watch while you drain your... Actually, you know, I probably wouldn't make it past the advertising standards. Next, Italian Beast, good name, says, do we get candy if we get in the van? Don't you worry, Italian Beast. Uncle Spurt always delivers on his promises, unlike the current UK government. There'll be licorice straws, sherbet fingers, jelly beans of every colour of the rainbow, and then all that basement fun times to follow. Better make this the last one for the week as I'm bang out of time. Eye in the Sky says, perfect timing, just sat down on the throne. I mean, that kind of brings a tear to my eye actually, because when I was a nipper, one of my greatest ambitions in life was for people to be staring at my face, or at the very least thinking about it, as they curled out a dirty great steamer. So, as I believe they say, mission accomplished. So a huge thank you to everyone who commented, not last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever the bloody hell it was I last did one of these showers of So yes, anything that pops into your beautiful little head, please do smash down in the comments below. We'll try and get our way through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week,
this is about next week.
So next week is looking deliciously light as far as tech launches go. Very little indeed, actually just a couple of Christmas piss-ups. Christmas piss-ups in the first week in November. What the hell? I'm just glad that they're actually real-life piss-ups with a real-life free bar, unlike the, you know, Zoom shenanigans we had to put up with the last couple of years. But I've got lots of hot content coming at your face in a steady stream as usual, including a Pico 4 review. I've got a review of the new Kindle as well, all kinds of stuff. And then this time next week, do please sit on Uncle Spurt's lap and join me for yet another thrilling Tech Spurt Weekly. In the meantime, have yourselves a bloody wonderful weekend. Thank you so much again for watching all of this right to the bitter end, you crazy mofos. And all that remains to be said is...